For this video, we're going to learn how to express if we like something or not using the verb gustar. Now, the first thing that I want to talk to you about is when gustar is translated, it's usually translated as I like. And that's not really what you're saying. The verb gustar means to be pleasing to. And this is really important because it's going to change the way that we conjugate it, the way that we change it, and the pronouns that we use. So if I say something like me gusta, I'm not saying I like, I'm saying it is pleasing to me. This might sound a little strange at first, but if you think of it this way, if you think of it as to me and not as I like, it's going to help you to remember to use me as the pronoun and not use yo. The other thing is that if you notice, we're not conjugating with an O, we're conjugating with an A. Because the conjugation is going to be for the thing or the person or the action that is pleasing to you. So this is good news because this means that even though we have to use different pronouns, that we're only going to use two conjugations primarily. So either you're going to say me, te, lay. I'm only going to do the first three. For this would take the place of yo. Te is going to take the place of to, you. And lay would be either el or ella. And then you have either a singular version, gusta, or a plural version, which is going to have an N, gustan. In this case, we're only going to work with the singular version because we're going to be talking about hobbies, and verbs, they're not nouns. We can't count them. We can't have, 5 to swim. They're actions, and an action is always singular, even if you do it many times. So that's going to make our expression of what we like or don't like much easier to start off with. So we're going to use these with some hobbies. I like to start off by practicing the pronunciation. Tomar fotos, take pictures. Jugar videojuegos, to play video games. Bailar, to dance. Correr, to run. Ir de excursión, to go hiking. Pintar, to paint. Escuchar música, listen to music. Leer libros, to read books. Nadar, to swim. Ir de compras, to go shopping. Montar bicicleta, to ride a bike. And jugar deportes, to play sports. So I'm going to go through this, and you can see here we have the question form at the top. It's asking te gusta, meaning is it pleasing to you? And I'm just going to tell you if I'm answering positively or negatively. Me gusta or no me gusta. For example, the first one, tomar fotos. I like to take pictures, so I would say that Me gusta tomar fotos. Now I don't have to conjugate tomar because the verb gustar is already conjugated. So if you have two verbs in a row, you don't conjugate the second one until you talk about a different subject, a different person, and then it'll change. But then below, I'm not really into video games, so I'm going to make this one negative. No me gusta jugar videojuegos. Now sometimes you might see that it says in front of this, at the beginning of a sentence, it will say a mí, and then it will say me gusta or no me gusta. And this is saying to me. So you can use this for emphasis, but it's kind of like the pronouns where they're not necessary unless you're trying to make a point. Now you might hear él or ella. You could also use someone's name, Sara. Someone might say about me, le gusta. And the reason that you'll hear these more is because le can be for a he or she, so it might need a little bit of specification in that case. But if you're having a one-on-one conversation, you don't have to say these a mí, a él, a Sara, unless you're trying to emphasize, but I wouldn't worry about that right now. Right now we just want to be able to communicate what we do like and what we don't like. And one more thing, I would like to add a couple quantifiers so that if you want to make your sentences a little bit more interesting, you can. Okay, so some of the quantifiers we can use are going to be un poco. You can like something a little. Mucho, a lot, or if you don't like it at all, you can say nada, which really means nothing, but in this case we would translate it as not at all. So with these, I can go ahead and make more specific sentences about the things I like or don't like. So if you ask me about the first one about taking pictures, I might say, me gusta un poco. Un poco. But it's not my favorite thing to do, and that's okay. And then if you asked me about videojuegos, that's just not my thing. No me gusta nada. Which I'm sure a lot of people do. I'm just not very good at them. So I encourage you to use these in your sentences. You can put them in front of the action if you want to say the action. Me gusta un poco escuchar música. Or you could put it behind the action. Me gusta escuchar música un poco. The one that's going to stay in place is going to be nada, because it's a negative. You're going to want to keep this one where it is and keep it in front of the action. But if you're talking about a little or a lot, it's a bit more flexible. You can put it before or after, and you'll commonly hear it used both ways. That's going to be it for this video. I'd like to encourage you, because These are not all the actions in the world. They're certainly not all the hobbies or the free time activities. If you know the grammar now, you know how to use gustar, you can find any verb, anything that's going to end in AR, ER, correct? We don't have an IR and oh, we do, ear. Anything that's going to end in AR, ER, IR is going to be a verb, or you can look up verbs. And I encourage you to use ones that you actually do like to do or you don't like to do if these ones don't fit. Because you're going to be able to use them correctly as long as you're using gustar in a singular form, gusta, and you're actually using a verb. There's no other option. Now, when we go on to talk about food and we talk about apples and bananas and pizzas and other things, we will have the second option with gustan, but not right now.